Hi, I'm Bud.
And I'm Renee.
On this episode, we're just outside of Custer, South Dakota.
The main reason for this trip would be the Buffalo Roundup.
We're going to take in a hike and do a few other things while we're here. So come along with us
as we explore Eden.
We're all packed up and we're ready to roll. We got 6 more hours to the next time zone. All of the God-given wonders we'll see. Hiking the trails with you beside me. There's nothing I'd rather do than explore Eden with you.
Today's the 58th annual Custer State Park Buffalo Roundup. Our campground is just west of Custer, South Dakota, giving us a 50-minute drive to the north viewing area. We're taking Highway 16A east to the Wildlife Loop Road, where we'll turn south to access the north viewing area. The south viewing area can be accessed by going east on the Wildlife Loop Road from the Bluebell entrance off of Highway 87. The road between these two areas is closed during the Roundup. Custer State Park is a wildlife reserve in the Black Hills of South Dakota. It was established in 1912. It covers an area of 71,000 acres. It is ranked in the top 10 of the best wildlife destinations in the world. It is home to whitetail and mule deer, antelope, mountain goats, elk, coyotes, burros, bighorn sheep, several species of birds, and the second largest herd of bison that roam on public lands. It's 5:50 a.m. and traffic has come to a stop several miles from the north parking area. The gates open at 6:15. At 6:15, the traffic started moving again. The weather for the day started in the mid-40s and is forecasted to get into the low 60s. You will want to dress in layers, bring folding chairs, binoculars, cameras, snacks and drinks, and depending on the weather, sunscreen or rain gear. Breakfast is served from 6:15 to 9, and lunch is served at the corrals after the buffalo are rounded up. There is a fee for both meals. We arrived at the parking lot shortly after 7 a.m. At 9 a.m., the traffic was still flowing into the parking lot and went back as far as you could see. The Roundup takes place the last Friday of September. There is no charge to enter the park this day or for parking at the Roundup. This is a free event, and attendance is expected to be well over 20,000. We're looking south, and this gives you a good view of both viewing areas. The south parking and viewing area is on a slight hill. The buffalo will be driven over the hills to the right of this viewing area, along the far side, and then turn north along the east side of the viewing area. The north viewing area is on a ridge that runs east to west along the large fenced valley that the buffalo will be driven into. Most spectators in the north viewing area stayed on the top of the ridge where the ground is flat. We found a spot on the hill going down to the fence that was perfect to set up our gear. There are a few people on the hill due to its incline. Shortly after 10 a.m., the buffalo started to appear, coming over the hills south of the south viewing area. The American bison, or buffalo as they're commonly called, are an amazing animal. They can run up to 35 miles per hour, faster than an average horse, jump an obstacle 6 feet in height, spin around quickly in place, and are strong swimmers. They are the largest mammal in North America, with a mature bull being 5.5 to 6.5 feet tall at the hump in its back and weighing 1,800 to 2,400 pounds. A female will be 4 to 5 feet in height and weigh up to 1,000 pounds. A calf will enter the world weighing 30 to 70 pounds at birth. Their lifespan is 10 to 20 years. With the buffalo spread over 71,000 acres, the park staff will begin 2 weeks prior to today, pushing the buffalo toward the corral area of the park. The roundup for the horses and their riders begins on Thursday with an orientation ride, allowing the riders to get used to the terrain and the buffalo. On Friday, the riders will drive the herd about 5 miles into the corrals. There are 60 riders participating in the roundup. 20 are core riders that are familiar with the herd. Custer State Park has a long tradition of using private citizens to help with its annual buffalo roundup. If you wish to ride in the roundup, you can find the application and requirements on the South Dakota Game, Fish, and Parks website. The application should be sent in May, as it is due in early June. The snapping sound that you hear are the bullwhips the riders use to create the sound to keep the buffalo moving in the desired direction. Once the buffalo are in the large fenced-in area, the riders will start to drive them toward the corrals.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think more the bull's not happy. Which bull is that? Right in front of the horses. Oh, yeah. The one with the tail up? Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, I think bulls are probably. That's bad.
The South Dakota Governor, Kristi Noem, rode with the riders this morning during the roundup and then carried the South Dakota flag as they paraded past the spectators. You will leave the event by the same route you entered. The north parking lot will go north, and the south parking lot will go south on the Wildlife Loop Road. The road in between the two areas is closed and used for buses to transport visitors to and from the Bison Center and Corrals. We decided against waiting in traffic and boarded a bus to go to the Bison Center for lunch and visit the Corrals. Lunch was served in a tent just outside of the Bison Center. It consisted of a barbecue buffalo burger, baked beans, a chocolate chip cookie, and a drink. It was good, but in my opinion, it's hard to beat beef or pork. After lunch, we headed to the Corrals. The primary objective of the Roundup is health and management of the herd. From 1 to 3 p.m., the South Dakota Game, Fish, and Park staff demonstrate how the buffalo are inspected and cared for. A small portion of the herd, which had been corralled a week earlier, are taken through the chutes and are immunized, receive health tests, and calves will be branded with a 3 for 2023 and an S for South Dakota. The buffalo that were rounded up today will have a week or two to get acclimated to the corrals to reduce stress before going through the chutes. Depending on the size of the herd, some buffalo will be sorted out to be auctioned in November. The auction buffalo will go to build herds in other areas. The park likes to maintain its buffalo herd around 1,300 to keep the park's ecological balance, which sustains various species within a closed area. After a few hours at the corrals, the Wildlife Loop Road had opened up, and we took it north, where we picked up the Iron Mountain Road, and we continued following it north. The Iron Mountain Road has bookends of Custer State Park to the south and Mount Rushmore Memorial to the north. It is an incredible 17-mile drive. You will still see buffalo occasionally throughout the park while the herd is rounded up. Buffalo are herd animals, but some of the older bulls are solitary creatures that have a mind of their own. If they do not want to travel with the herd, then they don't. You'll want to plan at a minimum 45 minutes to navigate the Iron Mountain Road. Along its 17-mile route, you'll have 314 curves, 14 switchbacks, 3 pigtail bridges, 3 tunnels, 2 splits in the road, and you'll end up at the Four Presidents Mount Rushmore Monument. We got back at camp just in time to grab a bite to eat and plan out tomorrow's adventure. Today we're traveling north on State Highway 89 from the city of Custer, South Dakota to the Sylvan Lake entrance to Custer State Park. There we'll take State Highway 87 or Needles Highway about 1 mile east to Little Devil's Tower trailhead. There is parking for around a dozen cars at the trailhead. Trail number 4 passes by the parking area, and you will take trail number 4 to the east. Little Devil's Tower Trail is a 1.5 mile out and back trail with an elevation gain of 700 feet. It starts at 6,250 feet. This is a view of Little Devil's Tower on a clear day. Our goal is the top. We're hoping the fog will burn off by the time we reach the top of the tower. But for now, it makes a beautiful backdrop for the yellow aspen leaves. The trail is a nice gravel trail and is marked very well. At 1 mile in, you will go to the left on the Little Devil's Tower Spur Trail. At this point, you have completed 400 feet of the elevation gain, and you have 300 feet over the last half mile to the top. As you gain elevation on the Spur Trail, the aspen give way to the pines. In recent years, the ponderosa pine have suffered drastically from pine beetle infestation. The Black Hills National Forest Service is working to halt the infestation and remove dead trees. At the base of the tower, you will climb or maneuver through the first V-notch. Just follow the blue diamonds and the blue arrows that are painted on the rock.
Stay down there.
Going down could be scary.
Could be. From the first V-notch to the top of the tower, there will be areas where you'll be able just to hike, and there will be other areas where you'll have to rock scramble using your hands just to keep your balance. The age group we've seen from this point on ranged from 7 to 70. Some packed their dogs and carriers and took them part way up the tower. If you can climb up and down an 8-foot ladder and don't have an issue with balance, then you'll be fine on this last portion of the trail. And with any hike, if you come to a section that you're not comfortable with, just stop, take in the scenery, and turn around.
I like how that is going off.
As the morning went on, the fog blew off and the views began to open up. This was the most difficult section of the climb, requiring the use of both hands to keep your balance. So the camera got packed away, and I realized I left the GoPro in the truck. One more little section to climb to the top. And the views from the top were amazing, with the Needles to the east, the backside of Mount Rushmore to the northeast, and to the northwest, Black Elk Peak. At 7,242 feet, it is the highest peak from the Rocky Mountains to the west, to the Pyrenees Mountains in France to the east. And to the west, the vast open terrain. And to the south, Custer State Park, and beyond that, Wind Cave National Park. At the peak, you reach an elevation of 6,959 feet. After the hike, we took the Needles Highway south to Highway 16A. The Needles Highway is a must-do when you're in the Black Hills. It'll take a minimum of 45 minutes. After our drive on the Needles Highway, we went east on Highway 16A to the Buffalo Roundup Arts Festival. The Arts Festival is just off the highway across the road from the Peter Norbeck Educational Center. The Arts Festival takes place Thursday through Saturday. It opens at 10 a.m. Thursday and Friday, and at 9 a.m. on Saturday. There were 4 bands each day, hot air balloons Friday night, and 150 vendors at the Arts Festival. After the Arts Festival, we headed west and passed through the town of Custer, South Dakota. Gold was discovered east of Custer in 1874, which led to the Black Hills Gold Rush. Custer was founded in 1875, making it the oldest town in the Black Hills. By 1876, 10,000 people populated the hills. The current population of Custer is just under 2,000. With 3 of the best-rated restaurants in the Black Hills, stores ranging from groceries to hardware, and several unique shops, you'll find anything you need during your stay in Custer. Big Pine Campground is 2 miles west of Custer. This was home during our stay. With 38 full hookup sites at $57 a night, 18 water and electric sites at $51, several tent and pop-up camper sites, cabins, retro camper rentals, clean showers and restroom, laundry room, rec room, very pleasant staff, and a great view from our campsite 54, it made for a wonderful stay at Big Pines. I know it's crazy to only spend a few days in the beautiful Black Hills, and we really enjoyed our stay. The Buffalo Roundup was a great experience, with the entire herd passing only a few hundred feet from your seat. Little Devil's Tower Trail was an amazing short hike with a fun rock scramble and amazing views. The Black Hills area offers something for all interest. We can't wait to return. Until the next one, take care and get out there and explore Eden.